What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, you guys. Happy Sunday. Again. This is the fifth time I've been. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the fifth time y'all have seen me today. So listen, I've been working. Come on in. I could have sworn the initial time said 10:50. Did it? Excuse me. I thought I had set it for 9:15. Was the time 10:50? Oh, baby, I done scheduled so many lives today. If I put the wrong time, my apologies, but it's going to always be, well, I can't say always, but 99.9% of the time, it's going to be right after the show. So I'm sorry if I had the wrong time up there. I don't mean to confuse y'all, honey. I don't mean to confuse y'all. What up, Chuck? Hey, boo. I'm liking Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. K. Michelle and Pinky are interesting. K. Michelle looks fantastic in hot pink. Fingers crossed for Shamea and Angela. Child. Nubian says she's enjoying it as well. Happen. Love me some K. Michelle. Shamea works my ever-loving nerves. She can't even be serious. Baby, we're going to talk about it. All right, y'all. Let's get right get into this. So we pick up this episode where we left off last week with K. Michelle having to have a 2-hour surgery for this ongoing situation she has with the silicone. And what she said was, it wasn't her BBL that she had the issues with. It is the shots. Now, this is the part where I'm confused, and it ain't that deep. I'm gonna be honest, because I think we're clear that her putting a foreign substance in her body is the issue. But I thought the shots were for the butt shots, right? Or is she talking about other injections she had? Either way, it doesn't matter. But she said, listen, I got the glam squad coming to the hospital because I ain't going to never look like what I've been through. I said, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all, K. Michelle. K said, listen, I'm going to have this glam get up in here. And when I leave out this hospital, I'm going to be fabulous, okay? And let me tell you something else about K. Michelle that I don't think a lot of people acknowledge. K. Michelle going to work. And I'm not even talking about on this episode. I just mean in general. K. Michelle is going to work. K. Michelle, it looked like she literally left the hospital and went straight to film. And even though her husband told her, you need to be taking your butt home, she was like, nah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go film this good scene and I'm going to take my ass home. Listen, K. Michelle is going to work. I don't want her to overdo it. I don't want her to overdo it, but it is what it is. The illegal butt shots, she will have to deal with the rest of her life. Yes. And that's what she said. She said no matter what she does, she said that this is going to always be in her body, which is a shame. And I really wish more women would understand the seriousness of doing these things to yourself. Again, I already told y'all before, there are things I would do. There are procedures that I would have if I had the money and that kind of stuff. But some things are just more dangerous than others. You know what I mean? I mean, all surgery is dangerous. Let's start there. But putting the silicone in and the implants and stuff, it's a lot. It's a lot. So thank you, K. Michelle, for being transparent and sharing your story with us. A lot of women wouldn't. And so thank you so much. So then we see Angela and we see Drew. You know, all I could think about when I was watching this episode and I saw Drew, I was thinking, Lord, we're going to have to talk about Drew tomorrow night on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. And I'm going to have to deal with JoJo and his trolling ass about Drew. Because Drew, first of all, Drew, what the fuck was that wig that you had on? Did y'all see that wig? It looked like a rat's tail. I know that wasn't Go Naked that you had on your head. That you supposed to be out here advertising. Because if that's Go Naked, It need to be gone. That's number one. Number two, Drew, you and this imaginary boyfriend situation. First of all, I'll talk about him when we get to him later on in this episode. But the fact that they are literally clowning you about that man being on the phone, you would think that she would have a little bit of that would make her feel some kind of way, that she would have a little bit of be embarrassed, I guess, that they are clowning her about this man on the phone, but she not. Yeah, Drew, Cynthia, and Porsha, they have a whole Go Naked. Yeah, they got a whole thing going on with Go Naked. Yeah, she's back with Go Naked, child. Mm-hmm. So I'm just sitting here like, I don't know. Angela said that she back in real estate. We're going to get deep into that. And her daughter is actually staying with her while she in between school breaks. And she said that, her and her girlfriend is still, her partner is still together. And she said her and her daughter are working things out. They're working on their relationship. And that they're in a much better place. So we're going to get deeper into Drew and Angela later on. So then we get down to the nail salon. Porsha, girl, you turning into the new Kim Zolciak? Why are you walking around with this red cup? Why are you walking around with this red cup? Every time I see that, all I think about is Kim Zolciak ass with that damn red cup everywhere. You can't get you a bedazzled Stanley cup. You can't get you a little cup with a lid on it. Like, why are you walking around with a fucking red cup and a straw? Is it me? I mean, I know that might not be a big deal, but what are you doing? Anyway, I don't like Cynthia's wigs on this show either. Well, child, Cynthia just be putting on anything. She don't care. Cynthia be wearing any old kind of thing, child. But I agree. Her wigs be getting on my nerves too. Excuse me. Her wigs be getting on my nerves too. Then Drew's units should always be on point. She shouldn't even go out. That I understand, Chuck. That's what I'm saying. Let's be honest. Porsha gives red solo cup. She does. So Phaedra's there, Porsha's there, Cynthia's there, and K. Michelle is there. And of course, they're all shocked to see K. Michelle. Now, K. Michelle said that the ladies checked on her. She said Shamea even came to the hospital to check on her. And she said, that made her feel good that the ladies, checked on her and that they would, they were there for her, So K. Michelle starts telling the ladies what happened with her. And before she could get the whole story out, she was telling, and I apologize. Last week I said it was blood. It was not. It was just wet. It was a clear substance. I apologize, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I assumed blood. I don't know. But I thought I heard blood, but clearly I did not. So I apologize for saying that. For misspeaking, I should say, because I didn't do it on purpose. Before she could even get it out her mouth, Porsha yells out, "Girl, you had a miscarriage." Now, let me say something. Porsha bought the cup because when you see her walking into the salon, she has the cup in her hand. So she literally walked into the salon with the red cup in her hand. Yes, she did. So it wasn't just the fact that Porsha yelled out and said, "Girl, you had a miscarriage." It was the fact that, according to K. Michelle, her and Porsha had conversations about her surgeries and what she had going on. So, and they've had conversations about her wanting to have children and it not really happening for her. So she was like, so on top of the fact that me and you have had these conversations, why would you blurt it out? But on top of the fact of you blurting it out, even if that's what it is, why would you say that? Like, that's so insensitive, knowing my situation. So when you add that layer to it, that one, K. Michelle and Porsha had actually had the conversation, and two, even if she were pregnant, you know she's trying to get pregnant and she's having some issues. Again, why would you blurt that out? Like, it's just like, anyway. We'll get more into that later on this episode too. So then they talk about Kelly's grand opening, and Kay Michelle was saying, "Hey, I'm really mad that I missed it." And Porsha told her about the flowers and how she tried to make the little joke that missed, but it wasn't that serious to you, SCK, but I can see why it was that serious to her. Listen, we all have things that bother us. I wouldn't say it's not that serious. It's not that serious to you, and that's fine. But I wouldn't say it's not that serious. I wouldn't say that. But that's me. Again, I already said it. I just said it. Right, baby. I told y'all how I worked at I used to work at this store called Babies R Us. And this lady came in there and she had on this bad, I mean, it was a real nice, like, power suit, but I said to her, oh my goodness, I said, that is a beautiful maternity suit. I've never seen that before. She was like, I had my baby 6 months ago. I could have fallen into the floor. I felt so bad because I am sure the last thing that woman wanted to hear is that I thought she was pregnant. And here I was thinking I was giving her a compliment. So somebody might say that's not a big deal, but I'm sure it was a big deal to her. And I couldn't apologize enough. You know what I mean? So when it comes to women and pregnancy and things like that, I think it is a big deal when we just yell out, we blurt stuff out like that. For her to just blurt out, girl, you had a miscarriage. I do. I mean, that's just me. But anyway, so, so they talked about the whole Kelly thing or whatever. And that really wasn't nothing. It was Porsha said the flowers were a flop. The flowers, her trying to make the little joke about the flowers was a flop, whatever. Again, we talked about that last week, child. I really think Porsha was being harmless, but I see where Kay was coming from. I think Porsha is one of those people that just talk before she think. I think shit just come out her mouth. Like, I don't think that was a moment of her trying to be shady. I don't think that was a moment of her creating a scene. I don't think that was her producing a scene. I think Porsha just say shit and don't think. You know what I mean? I think stuff just I think it just comes out her mouth, I honestly don't think I truly agree. I do not think that she was trying to be offensive. I don't. But she just say shit. But anyway. Shamea and this rump. First of all, let me say this was a very well put together episode. All of the earlier scenes connected with all of the later scenes. You know what I'm saying? Everything we saw at the beginning of this episode set us up with what we saw at the end of the episode. Because I feel like with all these earlier episodes, I keep saying, we'll talk more about it later. Because there's more, in the back end of the episode. But we see Shamea and her husband, where she kind of gives us a little more information on this rum company. And it kind of sounds like her husband basically told her this wasn't a good opportunity for her. He talked to the people. He was asking a lot of questions, and I don't think he was happy with the answers he was getting. And ultimately, it sounds like he told her, "Look, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But I don't think this is it for you." Shamea decided to fly to Grenada because I guess after the conversation with her husband, it sounds like this ain't what she said, but this is what I heard. It sounds like after that meeting with her husband, maybe the rum company was a little bit like, I don't know. So she said, I had to fly to Grenada and let these people know that I love their rum. We'll get to it when we get to the end of it, but you clearly didn't do your research. And if your husband is such a successful businessman, listen to him. There are a million business opportunities, and I'm sure that people reach out to you all the time. You don't have to jump on the first thing that comes your way. You don't even have to jump on the 10th thing that comes your way. if you really respect your husband and respect him as a businessman, I'm not saying she has to do what he tells her to do, but it sounds like his information was based off of him doing some due diligence, which you clearly did not do. We'll get to that a little bit later, child. Porsha has always been the equivalent of the black equivalent of a dumb blonde. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that was a calculated reality TV moment. I don't. But, anyway. Right, talking about something, she want to retire them. Girl, how you retiring him? Didn't you tell us how rich your husband was and how many how you retiring them? Child, moving right along. Piggy Cole goes to visit her attorney, and the first thing I heard that I thought was interesting was when she told the attorney that she was the guarantor on all of these loans. And I don't know a lot about business, if I'm being honest. I don't know a lot about business, but the one thing I do know, or at least I thought I understood, why would you be down as the sole guarantor on all of these loans? And did you hear her attorney say, why would you do that? Like, he said, why would you do that? Like, and you could tell he was thinking, why the fuck would you put yourself down as the, is it the guarantor? I believe that's the right language I'm using. That is the, and then you had business partners that you said were stealing from the company and this, that, and the other, these investors and stuff, but you're basically the one caught holding the bag. It sounds to me like whoever you had advising you when you were putting all this together on the front end, either they didn't do it right or they were setting you up, because it sounds, it just sounds like there was a setup somewhere in there. And unfortunately, you weren't savvy enough in business to understand that you were being set up. That's what it sounds like to me. She said that they stole money. Yeah, she said they stole money. So she's filing for single bankruptcy. We know she's already filed for bankruptcy and stuff. And she didn't tell her husband. Now, I'm going to be honest. Last week I said some things and I told y'all I don't want to be right because I don't want to speak bad on anybody's marriage. I'm not trying to set nobody's marriage up. I don't want to be that person. However, after this week's episode, I feel even more so this week about what I felt last week. And again, it's because of things that she said. First of all, she didn't tell her husband about the bankruptcy, right? And her thing is, because this is mine. Like, this is my mess to clean up. I don't need to put that on him. And my thing is, I understand being stubborn. I understand not wanting to put, like, I understand that part of it. But then the flip side is, then why be married? If you can't lean on your husband, if he can't be your, the thing, if he can't be the thing you lean on in your time of strife and in your storm, why you married, girl? And I understand that it's probably not an easy conversation to have. And I'm not saying that because she ain't telling him that means their marriage is over. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact that I don't know, y'all. I don't know how to put it into words. She may have been embarrassed. But my thing is, at this point, your husband knows there's a lot going on. Like, he knows. So where's the embarrassment at this point? Like, at this point, you had lost your company. Like, I don't know. She talked about how basically after a year of marriage, they almost got divorced. But they decided, they prayed over it and they decided they were going to make it work. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I ain't gonna say nothing negative because I don't want to speak bad. I'm gonna leave that over there. I'm gonna leave that over there. Um, but she's gonna, and I think her attorney, the guy she was talking to, he sounded very positive. He sounded like he understood. And he told, and I like the fact that he didn't BS her through it. He said, listen, this is going to be your testimony. You got to go through it, but you're going to come out on the other side with a story to tell, And I love that he didn't BS her. He didn't make it seem like this ain't going to hurt and this ain't going to be hard. It's going to be hard and it's going to hurt, We see K. Michelle, Cynthia, and Pinky meet up. K. Michelle likes Pinky. Of course, they're sorors, so they already had that connection there. But it sounds like she really likes Pinky. And it looks like they've been hanging out. We saw a couple of scenes with them hanging out together, in other scenes and stuff like that. You feel better about her husband after this episode? Okay. All right. All right. Few of y'all say y'all feel better after this episode. Okay. If you can't share these things with him, then I'm side-eyeing her. Okay. I see what y'all saying. I think some of it is her own stubbornness. I think she's probably stubborn about these things. But I also feel like she should be able to talk to him. And again, I've never been married, so I can't tell married couples how to act. So I'm not saying that makes her a horrible person or anything, but I just think those are conversations that need to be had. I don't know. Conversations that need to be had. Anyway, so they're going out to lunch, and I love how K. Michelle has her own little segment, right? Of her tweets, of her toxic tweets, right? K. Michelle done tweeted, and we remember when these tweets happened because we were all trying to figure out who she was talking about, right? We all had these. We remember when she tweeted activator. We remember when she talked about a bimbo. We remember these tweets when they were happening because we were like, who is she talking about? And I think we even found out that she was talking about Porsha because we was like, well, what in the world is going on between her and Porsha? Like, where is this coming from? So she's letting the ladies know what upset her about what Porsha said and why it upset her. And like I said earlier, it wasn't just because Porsha blurted it out. It's because her thing was Porsha knew. Like, out of everybody in that room, Porsha already knew. So why is she why would Porsha be blurting this out when Porsha already knew, right? They tell K. Michelle, look, you might need to call her. Don't think it was intentional. Don't think she meant anything by it. And Cynthia had to say, listen, I love my girl Porsha, but we know that she say things before she think. Like, things just blurt out her mouth before she thinking them through. So I hate, I don't want you to feel like, that she's just, baby, basically she said, baby, that's just who Porsha is. Okay, that's just who Porsha is. So K. Michelle said that she would talk to Porsha. She would, give her the benefit of the doubt. She would talk to her. But she felt like that was just a dingbat thing for her to say out her mouth. Then she said, what's up with Phaedra? Like, all she does is giggle. What is going on with her? And again, basically what she was saying was, why is she here, Harpo? Which is what all of us are asking, right? All of us are asking, why is Phaedra here? She ain't asked a question that the rest of us didn't want to know. Why is she here, Harpo? What is her purpose? Now you singing he can't win. Baby, that thing was funny because she meant that thing. So then Pinky tells them about her filing for bankruptcy and explaining, She hasn't told her husband. And she said, listen, I want to feel like I'm in a safe space. I want to feel like I can talk to these ladies about what I have going on, and that it's going to be a safe space. Pinky, you on the wrong show. You need to go down to Ayanla or something if you're looking for a safe space. The Real Housewives is not a safe space. If that's what you thought you were signing up for, baby girl, go ahead and cancel it now. Go on and quit now. Send your 2 weeks notice in, because baby girl, that is not what you signed up for. I hate to be the one to tell you. I'm sorry that you don't know that already. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that is not, girl, that is not what this is here with these housewives. That's not what this is. And I'm sorry that you thought that. I don't know what show you've been watching for the last 18 seasons, 17 seasons, 16, whatever. But you better tell these ladies only what you want to be repeated and what you want to be discussed, because that's what's going to happen, okay? They're going to repeat it and they're going to discuss it, okay? And Cynthia said, here I was, thought I was coming in here to school the new girls, and baby, they schooling me. I said, They sent Mother Cynthia down there like she was going to get the girls together, and the girls got her all the way together, okay? But it was a cute scene. I liked it. It was a real cute scene. Now, one thing K. Michelle did say was, she said, and the reason why I'm going to add to this too, and I know y'all be like, you just taking up for K. Michelle, whatever. But the other reason why I'm going to add a little bit to this too is, remember K. Michelle sat through what happened with Porsha and Kelly on last week's episode. And that's what she said. She said, oh, I felt like Porsha was trying to Kelly me. So I think also there's a layer of, she's on edge when it comes to Porsha, because she saw what Porsha did with Kelly. And I don't think she liked that too much. I don't think she liked what Porsha did with the whole you were sleeping with a married man down to the BET Awards or whatever. I think she just didn't like that. You know what I mean? And so, in my opinion, I feel like that's kind of where that was coming from. And I know some of y'all still feel like K. Michelle put 20 on 10. And I understand that. I don't feel like, let me say this. At first, I did. If I'm being honest, at first I did. But after I heard what K. Michelle had to say about, wait a minute, me and Porsha talked about this, and Porsha knew more than everybody else in that room, and for her to blurt it out, then I was like, okay, I could see why she was a little irritated with Porsha. Then you add the layer of, and I saw what she did with Kelly a few weeks ago in front of me. I think there was already a defense there. Like, I'm waiting for Porsha to come for me. You know, I think that was part of it. I think there were layers to that. But that's just my opinion. So then we see Drew and this boy. Y'all, who is this man? Who is this man? I'm supposed to believe that Drew Sidor went from being married to Ralph to this boy. And I understand sometimes after you've been married, you know, you want the opposite or you want something different. Like, that's fine. But who is this boy? And I say boy because to me, that's how he looking and he acted. He acting like a boy. First of all, he can't even complete a sentence. He's one of those people that talk in half sentences. He doesn't complete a sentence. Yeah, you know, because, well, you know, I bought something for the kids. Well, you know, you my friend. It's like, sir, I need you to finish a sentence. That's number one. Number two, the smartest thing that man said was, well, divorce ain't final yet. You sitting here having hookah with this man, and basically Drew can't tell the truth about shit. You know you sleeping with this man. You done went on and you didn't admit that you were sleeping with this man. You know you sleeping with this man. Talking about we've had intimate moments. No, y'all sleeping together. Y'all are sleeping together, and it's okay, Drew. It's okay that you having you a little piece, a little something, a little this and a little that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nobody gonna judge you for that. But don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining and act like it ain't what it is. It's what it is. Y'all friends with benefits. You going through this divorce. You ain't looking for nothing real heavy or serious. And it is what it is. Like, stop playing with me with this little boy who can't even finish his sentence. Conjugate a verb. Whatever. So we see Angela. Let me say this. I'm not going to give Angela too much because I think Angela basically said what it is. She done went and bought this property. She is trying to prove to herself that she can do this. She said she took the lessons that she learned the last time. She's not trying to overprice herself. She bought a modest house in a modest neighborhood that she's going to probably do some minor renovations to, nothing over the top. She's not going to outprice her market, right? She's going to, because the little stuff that they showed us isn't a big deal, right? Okay, so it's got a spider infestation. It's probably been sitting empty. That ain't nothing but an exterminator call. Come in there and clean them spiders out. Okay, the backyard, people didn't dump stuff in the backyard. Again, probably because the house has been sitting empty. You're going to get somebody to come in there and clean that yard out. You're going to do some landscaping to that yard. It's not a big deal. The house is a modest, what was it, a 3-bedroom house? It's like a modest 3-bedroom home. She didn't pay a whole lot of money for it. She can probably flip it, make a $20,000, $30,000 profit, and go ahead on. She's only got one property right now, so it's not going to stress out her budget. It's not going to over. See, last time she tried to buy 5 properties at one time, that all of them were over $1 million properties. That is a lot to do for a newcomer, a first-timer, a small business. That is a lot of equity to hold on to in housing that you got to try to sell, because every month that you holding on to it, you paying those mortgages, right? She also talked about the fact that with everything that they lost last year with her mom and the properties and stuff like that, she's just looking for a win. She's just looking for a win. And no, she ain't told Charles. If you was married to Charles, would y'all tell Charles? Now, she did tell Charles that she bought a property. She just ain't gave him all the details. Her mom passed away. Now, the question that I had, though, the whole time I was looking at this, you had $4 million properties that went into foreclosure last year. Who the fuck gave you a mortgage? Who approved you for a loan? That's what I want to know. Now, maybe it was under the company's name. Like, maybe that's a business thing. Because I told y'all I'm not that savvy when it comes to business stuff. But who the fuck? That's all I was sitting here thinking. I was sitting here thinking, you said you lost $2 million last year. Now, I think one of the houses, I don't think she lost all 4 properties, but I don't think she sold all 4 for profit. But we know that at least 2 she lost. At least 2 she lost. Who the fuck gave you a mortgage? Even though that mortgage was only for $100 and something thousand. Who the fuck? Maybe she did. Maybe she just bought the houses outright. Bought that house outright, excuse me. Because, baby, who? That's all I was thinking. Who gave you a loan? But you're right. Maybe she just paid for it outright. Maybe she paid for it outright. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like she knows the neighborhood. That Decatur house don't look like it had potential. I thought the house looked, I don't think the house was that bad. I think they were showing us the worst of it, but I don't think that house was that bad. It didn't look that bad. And for houses like that, you can do small stuff that is not real expensive and make the house look a lot more expensive. You don't have to spend a lot of money to spruce up these houses. For example, that kitchen. She can it ain't a lot to do with that kitchen, if I'm being honest. But she can just put down marble countertop on that kitchen. It's not real expensive. It ain't got to be real marble. But y'all know it's like the granite. I didn't mean to say marble. I meant to say granite. She could put granite table counters down in that kitchen, and it'll change the whole look of that kitchen. She can paint, and that'll give it a fresh look. You paint. It already looked like they had the wood flooring down, right? So polish up the wood flooring a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she could put in a little crown molding in the bed the living room area. It's not a lot there, but it ain't a lot to do either. Man, you bring in a landscaper, clean up that yard, make that yard look a little nicer. It's not a lot that she has to do. Now my question, which I feel like she probably did her research. How long has it been on the market and why? Because it does seem like it's been empty for a minute. Why has it been empty? And it said the sign in the yard said for rent. So I feel like maybe the owner had been renting it out. I don't know. The cabinet looks sturdy. She can get somebody you could paint those cabinets, put in a granite countertop, switch out the appliances, put in some stainless steel appliances. You got a whole new kitchen. And you really ain't spent but a couple of $1,000s. And you got a whole new kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Have some people come in there and paint. Put some fresh paint up there. Do some crown molding in the living room area. I mean, I'm not up on all of these things, but these are things that aren't real expensive that she can do. I think in that last house, those houses were in certain neighborhoods and she thought she could get that amount of money, but she put so much money into the houses to fix them up to meet that standard that by the time she got ready to put it on the market, she would have had to sell it for a certain amount in order to get a profit. This, I think she can make a profit. I think she could probably put $10,000-$15,000 worth of work into that house and make a profit. Now, I'm hoping she definitely did her research. Now, I hope I'm not giving her too much, but I hope she definitely did her polished concrete or quartz, right? I hope she did her research and she understands her market. But I feel like those are some of the lessons that she may have learned from those houses last year. And she's starting with that's a nice starter house for somebody, for either a single person or a new couple. That's a nice starter house. That's not for somebody that's trying to, get a 5-bedroom mini mansion. That's a nice starter house for a single person, somebody that buying their first home, get approved for get a $200,000 loan, and they can get that. Next, we see Shamea. First of all, who is this mofo with the green beard? Why? I mean, did they film this on March the 17th of last year? Because, sir, why are you walking around with a green beard? I was confusion at that. They lost me at the green beard. Then Shamea is on the phone with these people, with the investors. I mean, with the rum company. Shamea, hey girl, you want a peach brand? You ain't know they ain't had no peaches in Grenada? Didn't occur to you to find that out? Didn't occur to you to ask when you were over in Grenada? You didn't think about that when you was in Grenada? Hey, I'm from Georgia, the peach state. I think maybe I could do a peach theme rum. That didn't occur to you to ask that question while you were there? Okay. Then you say that you want the bottle to be a replica of your butt. And you proceeded to stand up and show them your ass. I mean, how am I supposed to take you seriously right now? Like, how am I supposed to take you seriously right now? Like, how am I supposed to take you seriously right now? Like, how am I supposed to take you seriously right now? Like, how am I supposed to take you seriously right now? Like, how am I supposed to take you seriously right now? Like, how am I supposed to take you seriously right now? Like, That's how you show up to. And this how I know her husband don't want her to do it, because she basically said she had to get her own attorney because Gerald wouldn't help her. So basically, Gerald told you this is not for you. But these are probably the questions he asked. These are probably the reasons why he told you this ain't for you. Like, that is a simple Google search. Like, that's the kind of conversation you sit down and you do the research before you walk into a business meeting. If you want a signature cocktail and you want it to be peach, at the very least, you should know whether peaches grow on the damn island. I just can't, Shamea. Like, I be wanting to, but you every week you give me a reason to just be like, what the is wrong with you? Every week you give me a reason to ask, what the is wrong with you? Now you want to import peaches into Grenada for them to make this. Girl, do you know how much money you're going to spend sending peaches to Grenada? Girl. I just can't with you, Shamea. Return to sender. Try again. Give me something different. Give me something different. Just go. Just go. So then we see Pinky out on date night with her husband. I love this for them. I thought this was a great date night. And I understand why she didn't want to bring this up at dinner, at date night, right? She said, we don't get a lot of, we just started basically being able to date again. And I don't really want to mess up date night talking about this, And again, she feels like this is something she needs to handle herself. She doesn't feel like she needs to take it to her husband. So I'm not mad that she didn't bring it up at date night. I do feel like she should have talked to him before she went and filed for the bankruptcy, but I understand why she didn't talk about it then. How long have Shamea and Gerald, how long was Shamea with Gerald before they got married? Oh, I don't know. I think they were together a couple of years. Yeah. Peaches might not grow right and mess up their ecosystem. Shamea is such a flop. Pretty but a flop. Child. So anyway, that was date night. That was cute. It wasn't a whole lot more to it, but it was cute. Then we see Porsha meeting up with K. Michelle. Let me say this. I can respect the fact that K. Michelle went and had a conversation with Porsha rather than continuing to talk about this to anybody that would listen and go from person to person to person. So I appreciate she sat down and she had a conversation with Porsha, baby. And in true Porsha fashion, first Porsha was on the phone and wasn't even listening to K. Michelle. So then she got off the phone and she was like, girl, what's wrong? And K. Michelle said what she said. She told her how she felt and the comments that were made and why would you blurt that out? Me and you talked about it. Baby Porsha was like, oh, I didn't know that was the surgery you was talking about. I mean, I didn't know that was I didn't know it was the same surgery that you've been dealing with for years. She said, I don't remember having that conversation with you. The other thing K. Michelle said was, Porsha talked to me about her implants and the issues she's having with her implants. So again, I know she know what I'm talking about because we had a whole conversation about what she got going on. K. Michelle said, look, I'm going to give Porsha the benefit of the doubt. I ain't going to stretch this out. I ain't going to dwell on it. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and I'm going to move the fuck on this time. But basically, I got my eye on you though. She said, because I don't believe you. And that's the thing. K. Michelle don't believe Porsha. She just letting it go. But she don't believe Porsha. And for Porsha's side of this, y'all know that Porsha think this is her show. So how dare K. Michelle to question her? So I feel like this ain't over. Because K. Michelle don't believe Porsha. And Porsha don't like being checked. So this ain't over, in my opinion. In my opinion, this ain't over. Now, I don't know when it's going to come up again, but I feel like this ain't over. It ain't over. Even partnering with a Georgia peach liqueur company would be cute. Right. There's so many other things that, listen, unfortunately, Shamea is just a woman with a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time, and she bored. And I think she's trying to find something to do. And I'm not mad at her for trying to find something to do, but I just need you to put a little more due diligence into getting it done. I'm sorry. I just need you to put a little more due diligence into it. Porsha is the who said that girl. Right. Right. All right, y'all. With that being said, we about to get up out of here. That is Real Housewives of tonight's episode. Sorry, y'all. I think I'm a little tired. I feel like I keep getting distracted. I feel like I'm just tired. So I apologize if I'm a little woo 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 tonight. The Whether You Like It or Not panel is tomorrow night. I don't know where we are tomorrow night, if I'm being truthful about the matter, because I know Busy went last week in place of JoJo. So I don't know if JoJo flipped with Busy and JoJo's going to go on Busy's week, or if JoJo's going tomorrow night. It's either JoJo's panel or T's panel. I honestly don't know. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't know. It's either Busy tomorrow. I mean, it's either JoJo's house tomorrow night or T's house tomorrow night. It'll be posted on Instagram. If you guys follow all of us on Instagram, y'all know we'll post it and we'll share it out with the link. Yeah, and we generally always put it on our community walls. So I'll let you guys know tomorrow. I'm sorry, I just don't know right now because I'm sure they talked about it in the group chat. Actually, no, we've been talking about the Starlight Awards all day long in the group chat. So I don't think we talked about it today. Did y'all review it? No, because El Teddy's out of town this weekend. So we did not do the Chasing channel. And we did not do the Chasing finale. I've done so many yeah, listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think I'm just tapped out because I feel like I keep going left and going right. But thank y'all for rocking with me today. Thank y'all for rocking with me. We will be back, like I said, Whether You Like It or Not panel. Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I'll try to, depending on what time I get home tomorrow, I'll try to get it done. Depending on what time I get home tomorrow, I will try to get it done before El Teddy goes live. If El Teddy's going live tomorrow, because I'm not sure what time he's getting back home. But I'm about to didn't they do the drag race last night? They ain't do it because I was outside last night, child. Oh, I don't know who's doing it, Chuck, because I thought they did it last night. I know Angela, we might not have, because Angela had a gig last night. I wasn't available. El Teddy was out of town, so maybe they didn't do it last night. I know D was trying to figure out who was going to do it. So I don't know. I have to check. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.